The snow was still fresh on the rooftops of St. Andrews when a tall, sandy-haired first-year shuffled into an art history lecture, half hidden beneath a beanie and the kind of battered rucksack no royal dresser would dare approve. At the back of the hall, Kate Middleton, brown hair clipped back, notebook poised, caught the latecomer's uncertain smile. She remembers the moment in visceral detail, her cheeks flushing, eyes darting to the floorboards, heart pounding loud enough to drown out the professor's opening remarks. William, for his part, swears the introduction has been lost in the fog of youth, but Catherine insists she can still taste the instant chill of nerves. It became an in-joke years later, her teasing about his faulty memory, his mock outrage that she found him forgettable. Those were the awkward, unvarnished beginnings, and perhaps that is why their story resonates so deeply now, with a public hungry for authenticity, tired of rehearsed fairy-tale tropes. They weren't star-crossed lovers sealed by destiny at first glance. They were two undergrads in ill-fitting jeans trading lecture notes over instant noodles. They nursed crushes quietly, with the caution common to friendships on the brink of something unwritten. And that is the magic. Love blooming not in thunderclaps, but in 1,000 small exchanges, late-night flashcard sessions, shared walks along East Sands, laughter echoing down drafty residence corridors. Yet fairy-tale elements crept in around the edges all the same. Imagine William's predicament, trying to blend in while security hovered discreetly, classmates half pretending his lineage didn't set him apart. Catherine's calm, unaffected manner served as camouflage and anchor. She was the first to treat the shy prince as a classmate before a coronet, the first to roll her eyes when he botched a cooking rota. Their friendship solidified over cheap takeaway dinners and miles of Fife coastline, whipped by North Sea winds that do not consider royal pedigree. Then came the infamous charity fashion show in 2002, a single catwalk strut that has since entered royal folklore. Catherine in that translucent, thigh-skimming dress, William in the front row, mouth parted in startled admiration. He would later joke that the switch flipped in that exact moment. She maintains he noticed her long before. Regardless, from that night on gossip sites speculated, cameras clicked, and the relationship moved from platonic warmth to tentative romance. By spring 2004, the couple's ski holiday reveal, an unguarded kiss snapped by a long-lens photographer in Closters, turned speculation into headline fact. Tabloids rushed to anoint the future Queen Kate, and thus began Catherine's baptism by flashbulb. One day she was a university senior juggling finals, the next, her walk to the local Tesco became fodder for paparazzi. It was enough to rattle any 23-year-old, yet she managed it with an equanimity that impressed even palace veterans. Head high, smile polite, no hint of desperation for or resentment of the attention. The nation watched a masterclass in measured composure, a quality that has become her hallmark. But the path to Westminster Abbey was no unbroken fairway. The couple's first major wobble came in 2007, splashed across gossip columns under the unimaginative banner, "Waity Katie no more." Press pressure had risen to a roar, commentators dissecting Catherine's every handbag choice as evidence of marital ambition, columnists debating whether William would propose before Sandringham's shooting season. Amid that relentless scrutiny, they walked away from each other. Friends later said the split was part space, part self-preservation, William struggling under uniform and duty, Catherine unwilling to play placeholder. The break lasted mere months, but in that interlude Catherine did something quietly revolutionary for a royal girlfriend scorned. She lived. She took a job with a London fashion label, joined rowing sessions at 5 a.m., danced at bouges with girlfriends. And in every photo, she looked radiant, self-possessed, unbroken, rewriting the script that said a woman wronged must wilt. When William realized what he'd risked losing, apologies followed, and they stitched the relationship back together with sturdier thread, set on mutual terms, shielded by an understanding that destiny is best served cold by patience. Fast forward to October 2010, a remote Kenyan ridge, Mount Kenya's foothills afire with sunset. William, nerves steeled by sapphire heirloom ring in pocket, Diana's legendary engagement jewel, asked Catherine a question she had sensed was coming but had not allowed herself to daydream in detail. Under that vast African sky, she said yes. Hope poured in like sunrise, William later confided to a friend. The ring slid onto Catherine's finger, and in Britain dawn broke on a storyline that restored glamour to a monarchy yearning for renewal. Their engagement interview, broadcast to tens of millions, sparkled with inside jokes. When asked about their first meeting, William laughed that he couldn't pinpoint it. Catherine teased him for his poor memory, recalling her crimson blush. Then she dropped the Levi's Guy poster quip, humanizing the royal fantasy with an every-girl confession. Viewers saw something rare, two people genuinely amused by each other, comfortable slipstreaming between formality and teasing intimacy. The wedding in April 2011, Westminster Abbey decked in maple and hornbeam, carriage processions clattering beyond echoing walls, felt like a national exhale. Catherine's lace Sarah Burton gown satisfied both tradition and modern minimalism. William wore scarlet Irish Guards uniform, a nod to duty triumphing over personal Eton blue. 2 billion watched, but the newlyweds' locked laughter on the Buckingham Palace balcony belonged to no crowd. Their married years have followed an arc that would test any couple, let alone one under 24/7 evaluation. Military postings in Anglesey gave them anonymity for a while, but fatherhood catapulted them back into flashgun territory. The hospital steps debuts of George, Charlotte, Louis, each more polished, yet more relaxed than the last. Catherine's signature grace matured into institutional soft power. She championed early years mental health long before hashtags demanded wellness. She photographed her own children's birthday portraits to outflank paparazzi. She walked forward at solemn vigils, head bowed, hand lightly on William's back, the gesture that read as partnership, not accessory. Meanwhile, cracks of stress revealed their humanity. Rumors, some whispered, some shouted, swirled around aristocratic circles. Alleged indiscretions, strained friendships, fiercely denied by Kensington Palace. When pressed about a teenage bedroom poster of William, Catherine turned the narrative comic, confessing it was actually a Levi's model pinned above her bed, reducing speculation to giggles. She and William have mastered this blend of candor and deflection, give a morsel of personality, starve the beast of scandal. Their love story's greatest test arrived off-camera. Catherine's undisclosed abdominal surgery, then the bombshell of a cancer diagnosis in late 2024. Overnight, public fascination sharpened into protective affection. She receded for treatment, William molded his schedule around chemo cycles, Britain learned to wait. When she emerged, pale but smiling, for trooping the color months later, crowds roared with something beyond admiration. It sounded like collective relief. Now, a fresh dynamic defines their public life. Royal protocol still discourages overt hand-holding, yet cameras have caught more glances, more reassuring palm presses between them than ever before. Their team insists nothing is choreographed. Circumstances simply stripped away inhibitions. Illness rewrites priorities. If a gentle back rub at a war memorial wreath laying keeps William's spirits steady, so be it. If Catherine leans into his shoulder during a remembrance reading, the world sees not breach of code, but proof that modern monarchy can bleed, hope, and heal in public view. That authenticity is reflected in approval ratings. William and Catherine hover around 70+% favorability, eclipsing Charles and Camilla by double digits. Sociologists note the spark of Diana's memory, tragedy turned empathy, has transferred to Catherine, not by mimicry, but by genuine warmth. Mothers see resilience, young professionals see a work ethic unmarred by entitlement, older generations see continuity without stagnation. And so the question that once lurked at tabloids' edge, will Catherine make a good queen, has evolved. Now commentators ask instead, how transformative could her queenship be? Already her initiatives nudge the monarchy toward data-driven charity models, transparent financial audits, social media fluency without sacrificing gravitas. She is the first senior royal to release behind-the-scenes iPhone videos editing her own photography, the first to invite neuroscience researchers to garden party roundtables, the first to field questions from primary school children live online. Yet tradition has its gravity. Letters patent still define a consort's constitutional shadow. The throne remains singular, even joint sovereignty would require parliamentary will. Whether Catherine will one day reign as Queen Regnant in partnership, or Queen Consort beside William's singular crown, may depend on more than public sentiment. It may hinge on constitutional appetite for rewriting precedent. Inside Downing Street, rumor has it that policy advisors keep both contingencies sketched in the margins of briefing papers. For now, William and Catherine deliver a daily masterclass in equilibrium, a stroll at RAF Valley with arms brushing lightly, then a crisp salute under the RAF ensign. A school run in jeans and trainers, then a white-tie diplomatic reception. Fairytale glow shot through with Monday morning ordinariness. Every new anecdote, lost first meeting memory, bedroom poster myth, puppy pile-on birthday photo, binds them closer to a public who want their royals both elevated and relatable. Perhaps that is the secret to their enduring appeal. They never insist on perfection. They let stories breathe, frayed edges, shy blushes, temporary breakups, knock-knock jokes with George, tears behind chemotherapy curtains, trusting that honesty is more magnetic than immaculate legend. They know a kingdom built on spotless marble can crack without warning, but one built on shared vulnerability can flex under pressure. Where does the next chapter lead? A gradual resumption of duties, certainly. Catherine pacing engagements under physician guidance, William preparing global Earthshot tours, their children inching toward teenage headlines. In another decade, perhaps, we will look back at these early seeds, the shy flush in a university corridor, the Levi's Guy poster banter, as folklore preludes to a reign defined by partnership. Whether the crown one day sits on Catherine's head as queen pure and simple or rests beside her title as consort, the nation may scarcely notice the semantic finishing. In hearts and households, many have already bestowed the role upon her, just as they did upon Elizabeth in 1937, when she was merely princess. Some destinies are sealed not by letters patent, but by collective imagination. So, as winter fog cloaks Kensington Palace and the Thames slips black beneath Westminster Bridge, one truth glimmers: the fairy tale's power has never lain in perfect memory or unbroken road. It lives in resilience, humor, friendship turned flame, and the quiet promise that love, tested, tempered, televised, can still carry the crown into mornings yet unwritten.